So there's a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Battle list, or, well, I'm a little late on this. Well, like always, this is not a blind reaction, I already know the list, and uh, I'm not a competitive player, I don't know everything about how Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitive is going, so this is just how I feel about it. First, no main deck monsters were banned, so take that as you will, but we do have a Fiendsmith is now banned. I heard Fiendsmith is really good. It's just an engine that can pop out just a lot of material. That's what it does. And with this, it's supposed to be doing a lot less. Hitting something that definitely hurts the deck, but doesn't completely make it's worthless. I think that's what it does. Then we got Appaloosa, both the goddess. I I don't like that. I this card you can just put into any deck. Yes, that is why it should be banned. You can put in any deck, and even if you get interrupted, you can go into this, making it so your opponent has to deal with it no matter what. And plus, it also has some really weird rulings. Then we have Synchro. We can go down to Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity. This one deserves to get banned. We all know it. It's a turn skip card. All of them except the world should be banned. Alright, and now we're down to Beatrice, Lady of the Eternal. It makes sense. It's a Foolish on Lags. An easily accessible Foolish on Lags. I think it's also a quick effect? Yeah. A quick effect, easily accessible Foolish on Lags. And a Foolish deserves to be limited. Show us this. No spells and no traps. And we're down into the limits. No normal monsters. And we do have Eve, which is now limited to 1. Eve, which was banned previously because it would let you so there's a card where what's it called again? Herald. The Herald archetype has ritual monsters. We can discard it. Discard a fairy to negate pretty much anything. But Eve will let you add 2 more fairies from your deck to your hand. So you get to turn into a lot of negates. And that's why it was banned. However, no one's going to be doing that, so it can help with other decks do what they want. Now, what's next? Snake Eye Ash and Snake Eye Popular down from unlimited to 1? That's something for sure. It really before what did it really do? Everything. Literally everything. But you're not complete. If these were completely gone, Snake Eye. This is the heart and soul of the Snake Eye deck. If they were gone, most of your Snake Eye engine would have to be completely remade, or just wouldn't work at all. But down to 1 means you can still play Snake Eye. Then we got our XEs, number 40 Gimmick Puppet, and number Chaos, number 40 Gimmick Puppet. These Gimmick Puppet recently got its new cards, which turns it into a FDK that I think has about a 50% chance of going off that your opponent cannot interact with at all. So, pretty much, yeah, with these down to 1, you can't do that FTK, meaning they got rid of FTK. That's what we want. Sorry about that. Branded Fusion. I don't remember the last time I heard anyone talk about Branded, but it was something that people wanted back in the day, a couple of years ago. I feel like it was years ago at this point. But why now? I haven't heard anyone talk about Branded in so long. Now let's continue. Opening of the Spirit Gate. I think this is you to hit Yubel. This is to hit Yubel to make sure it can't do its stuff. Yubel is what it does is it's all about forcing your opponent to play into your cards and your cards, make it so your opponent attacks them, they take the damage, they get destroyed, you get the advantage for your opponent attacking you. We have Pot of Prosperity. I don't mind this one. It gets rid of one or more of the pots. Prosperity being, I would say, one of the better ones, because you're just going to go really deep into your deck and get whatever card you want. And Sangha Summoning, I don't remember what this card actually does. One second. Right, I remember now. It's Tenpai's Field Spell. Tenpai is a going second deck that, if it goes second, it will almost always win, because what it does is it just builds so much damage that your opponent really cannot interact with easily because of what the Field Spell does. Bringing it down to 1 means it's less consistent for you to get this Field Spell, meaning it's easier for your opponent to interact with your cards, I guess. And then finally for this Field Spell, for the spells, the grass looks greener. Ooh, interesting. So, with this card, it was banned because before it was just everyone had to play it. And if you didn't, you were going to play a 60 card deck because this card could be in the format. You play a 60 card deck so that this card has less an effect in the game. And I don't think there's ever been any other card in Yu-Gi-Oh's history that facilitated the increase of the deck size. There has been strategies, like for example, mill strategies will force you to play more cards. But something like this is only really ever happened with that Grasslock Screener. One card did that. You won't always find it, but when you do, you really are going to win. Which I don't like when you're just drawn to the one of, and it's like, well, I guess I win now, if you don't have a way to stop it. They are Skill Drain. Skill Drain, Floodgate. They are very much trying to get rid of all the floodgates. If you look at the limited traps, we got Floodgate, something else, Floodgate. Most of them are floodgates. They're really trying to make sure we cannot floodgate our opponent. However, if they want that, why not just ban it? That's the real question. Semi-limited. All of the Dragon Rulers have been brought back to 2. Soon enough, they're going to be at 3. I don't know why they're not at 3 yet, though. We all know it's going to happen soon enough. And also Lunalight Tiger. Well, we recently got more Lunalight cards, I think? Yeah, that's not... I think we've recently gotten more Lunalight cards, so maybe that's why they did it. Money. But also, Thunder Dragon Colossus is brought to 2. Everyone was complaining about this card being brought up to 1. Being like, oh, it's such a powerful floodgate. Now it's, if you're, so many decks can just go into this. It is not hard either to go into it. However, I think Konami sees it the other way around. They see it as a necessary evil. Sure, your opponent can, you can stop your opponent from going into their big combos with this card. Then Ib, the World Challenge Justers, brought in to 2. Well, it was at 1 before, and no one played it, so it makes sense to slowly bring it back up. And that's it for the semi-limited. Time to go into the unlimited. First off, makes sense. It was slowly getting brought back. Unicorn makes sense. Was limited. I was waiting for this to come back because it really deserved to come off. But what about Plushfire? Was forbidden. They don't normally do that, where they take something from forbidden to free. I guess they think that if you have it at 1 or 2, it's not going to really be the thing they want, so they bring it up to 3 in this case. And now being at 3, you can use its effects, which is all about like summoning into the field and damaging and stuff like that, so it's really easy material to get on the field. Ready Rose Dragon, a card I haven't really heard of anyone talk about. They did ban it, but I think, wasn't that for Crystron combos? Or was that, I think it was for Crystron combos, but now that Crystron banned, it makes sense. Ancient Fairy Dragon, I like this. One of my favorite decks is a 60 card pile field spell deck, and Ancient Fairy Dragon's the pivot that lets you go into your field spells. This makes me know that they are not going to be banning it anytime soon again. Danglong, again, this is played in my 60 card deck. I don't think they're banning Danglong anytime soon, that means. And then Time Seal. It really deserved to come off. It's one of the worst trap cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's not the worst, but what it does is it skips your opponent's next draw phase. However, if you play your turn and then set it, your opponent starts their turn. Beginning of the turn, they draw a card. Now, you can go and start activating cards, but your opponent already drew, meaning it doesn't affect them for this turn. It goes on to your turn next, and then goes back around to theirs. If you're playing a really, really slow deck that forces your opponent to play at your speed, I don't know any deck that actually does this well. But if you can do it and stop your opponent from drawing forever, it sounds pretty good. But oh yeah, deserves to come back. Well, anyway, that's all the cards that is unbanned, banned, and banned, limited, semi-limited, and unbanned now. And I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you tap that subscribe button. You're only missing one. You have 5 pieces. You have 4 pieces of Exodia. You don't have 5. And if you can draw the last one, you can win the duel. Oh, that's so close. That is Snake Eye Ash. I know it's not on screen, but good luck next time.